Sheldon Creed on the podium every round except for 2. RJ Anderson is going to lead him to the stripe, much like he did in round 9. Brandon Arthur alongside. Jeff Hoffman again with a good starting spot. And Kyle Lucas. Sheldon Creed, Casey Curry, Miles Cheek, and Ryan Beat fill out the first 4 rows.
Coming out of row 5, Kyle Hart and Aaron Doherty, then Gavin Harlan and Justin Smith. Ray Griffith and Brian Deegan coming out of row 7. Jimmy Fishback and DJ Knorr coming out of row 8. And then Chris Lawrence and Eric Hunter out of row number 9. And then in row 10, Todd LeDuc and Mikey Lawrence as the KMC Wheels pace truck pulls off. Ken, we're ready to go to war.
20 trucks deep here. They will fan out and go some 3 and 4 wide, guaranteed.
Add in the rain to the tear-offs and the track conditions, and we'll see how it plays out. But right away, the white and blue Lone Mart Walker Evans, sponsor number 37 of RJ Anderson, goes to the front, but a good run from the competitive metals, all yellow and black truck here. That's the number 6 of Brandon Arthur. He led a ton of laps at Reno, looked really quick, but wasn't able to secure the podium, so you know he's going to want to get there tonight.
He's still out there, has a nose on it. Might be hard to get around the outside there, but maybe not. How about that? Carries nice momentum, and Brandon Arthur is our race leader ahead of RJ Anderson as the rest of the gang dice for position. 47 right there. We talked about him 1 round ago. Hoffman really doing a good job out here. This track is to his liking, and the young driver, new to the category, relatively new to the category, has definitely found some speed out here at Glen Helen.
Getting up on that bit of loam, that cushion in the edge there, carrying a lot of speed is Arthur. Anderson, and then of course Hoffman, and our points leader, that's the number 74 Traxxas BFG sponsored truck.
Oh! 3 of them in there getting together, and I think the 3 of them held each other up somehow. Kyle Lucas, by the way, in a Loctite back, number 25, and he ate a lot of roost early on. 2 guys hooked up, looked like Kyle Hart.
That looked like a shock maybe expiring right here. Maybe, no, you know, just rubber on rubber contact, the front and rear tires rubbing next to each other. Kyle
Hart and Casey Curry. Casey Curry on the podium, as was Kyle Hart. Both of them just 1 round to go.
Speaking of 1 round to go, that 51, man, he was pushed into the K-rail, broke that right front corner off, and kudos to that team, the Lunar Pages Lone Mart team, for getting it all together and getting Ryan Beat back out on the track 1 round later.
Yeah, Ryan Beat had such a run going, 5 consecutive top 5s, including a couple of back-to-back podiums before that finish that cost him a lot in the points as well. Let's check in with Aaron Bates, who has more.
Current points leader Sheldon Creed has an 18-point advantage over Brian Deegan coming into round number 10, but during round number 9, his spotter made him aware of Brian's position, so he decided to back it down a bit and play it smart because he didn't want to take any unnecessary risks. He said if there's a win there, he'll definitely go for it, but he's not going to chance it being this far into the championship hunt.
So there you have it. Sheldon Creed's already point racing, and you know, you got to be smart about this deal. If you're going to win a championship out here, you just can't throw caution to win every lap, every race. And if he's running around the top 5, it's going to be very difficult for them to catch him. Let's check in with Rob Klepper.
And guys, how about that number 6 of Brandon Arthur out of Ramona, California, coming into this race here in round 10 with only 4 top 10 finishes so far this year. His best finish, 6th place, 2 separate times, once at Utah and once in round 4 at Lake Elsinore. For the off-road desert racer to come to Glen Helen and run this well this early, looking for not only his first top 5 of the year, not only his first podium of the year, but possibly his first career Prolite win, that would be huge.
Yeah, if you can knock all those out in 1 quick fatal swoop, that's a good day. Looks like the roof is coming off of Gavin Harlan's truck there, the number 55, Brian Deegan, a little bit deeper in the field in the number 38 truck. And then, of course, he's being followed there by the red number 53 of Ray Griffith as we go on board with Brian Deegan.
He struggled 1 round to go, and before the race I had heard fuel delivery issues, and you got to wonder if there's something going on with that truck. I mean, obviously you don't see Brian Deegan circling around in 13th too often.
couple trucks getting together back in there, and Kyle Hart, part of it looked like maybe Casey Curry. Those two guys have been battling the entire race. We saw the tire smoke from the two of them earlier. They need to race each other smart. They're both fast enough to go to the front. Oh, and Kyle looked like maybe just got, you know, the other thing too is we're quick to blame the drivers, but this racetrack is vicious, man. Some brutal ruts inside of it, and it will throw you a curveball in a second, and it looks like Bean just got one.
Justin Smith in the competitive medals number 19. Unfortunately, in a bad parking spot. Looks like he's okay inside the truck, but we will bring out the full course caution. Brandon Arthur in the front, followed by RJ Anderson and Jeff Hoffman. Great run for all of them, as well as Kyle Lucas. So that is your top 5 when you round it out with Sheldon Creed. Justin Smith will get back on his wheels, I suspect, and get back underway. It looks like just caught a bit of a rut and just was committed. Trying to continue making that turn, and sometimes that banking is deceiving as well. When you start to bike, you think, I got this, and it just sneaks up on you so fast once it gets up on 2.
That loam is thick and heavy. Brandon Arthur looking for his first career win. Brandon Arthur leads the group here at the Rockstar Energy Inland Empire Nationals presented by Lone Mart. Brandon Arthur looking for his first career top 5.
Oh, look at those ruts.
Wow. It just banged Kyle Lucas's truck back to the left at the entry of the turn. That loam is so thick and so heavy.
Brandon Arthur continues.
And look at Gavin Harlan's truck. He can't see the right-hand side to enter this turn at all. Jimmy Fishback pounds Kyle Lucas.
Kyle was turning in there for sure. It looked like Jimmy maybe aggressively dove to that inside, but got to take another look if we're going to try to really dissect it. But there is just a lot of contact going on, and it looks like we're going to get another look. Oh, you know, Jimmy really looked like he was there.
Yeah, Jimmy, boy, he definitely had a nose ahead of him there.
Yeah,
for sure, I agree.
I think that's on Kyle turning down into him, really. And contact there and a black flag, it looks like, for Jimmy Fishback. So the officials,
they didn't see it the way we saw it.
No, they didn't see it the way we saw it. But then again, we are not standing right on top of the incident either.
And we did have the luxury of a replay as well. So it's pretty difficult to make those split-second calls up there. Gavin Harlan, though, is really struggling here, and he really got into Kyle Lucas, nearly knocked Kyle completely off the track. Man, these guys are banging out here hard.
And look at this.
Griffith
and Lawrence, Mikey Lawrence, a couple of desert racers hooked up, the Lawrence equipment number 85 and the General Tire 53. Take another look. They were hooked up before that shot.
That right-hander is really tough for all these guys. You know, Brian Deegan was banging off people down there, and then the other Lawrence getting in there as well. Chris Lawrence also right there towards the end.
You know, honestly, I feel like if you have your hood up over your window, you know, even if it's only 60% covered, in a lot of cases, I think that should be a black flag.
Has to be some sort of hazard for sure, as Sheldon Creed is trying to stay out of all the madness, but Miles Cheek might not allow that.
Miles has been so quick this year. He had a big wreck, obviously, in Reno after qualifying first. The Monster Energy number 2 of Casey Curry, a little rub on Kyle Hart.
And guys, you can see we have a few visitors here in the Lomar Hop Pits. The number 85 of Mikey Lawrence stopped with the 53 of Ray Griffith on the right rear with his left front. Hooked together, nowhere to go. It looks like they're going to bring in the wrecker, try and get these guys pulled apart, maybe send them back out on the racetrack if they don't have too much damage. But tough break for both those drivers, trying to have a good run here tonight at Glen Helen.
Boy, look at Miles Cheek and that split screen. He drove down underneath Sheldon Creed. That kid has some speed, and Kyle Hart comes in late, pays the price right there. I don't think Cheek knew he was there.
No, that was Kyle lifting because he didn't want to hit Cheek, and then it rotated around is what it looked like to me. But if I'm Sheldon Creed, I don't necessarily want to race with Miles Cheek. Miles Cheek is not a factor in the points anywhere. And see, I think he just...
Yeah, good call there for sure.
He made the contact, but he didn't drive through him. He lifted, and that redirected the truck with the contact.
And that cost Kyle a bunch, and we're hearing that now Kyle is actually going to receive a black flag for that, and I agree with him. I mean, I think he really tried to check up and stay out of him. He's going to pay a price for it.
Well, he did drive it down there aggressively where those trucks already were. I mean, again, the officials have to call the race they see right in front of them. There's officials in most all the corners to make the calls. They relay it back to the main official. They talk about it. They try to make a decision. And, you know, sometimes it's spot on, sometimes it's not. In this case, Kyle Hart did drive down underneath and did run into another truck.
So Kyle pulling into the hot pits to pay his penalty. You can see one of the officials there as well. Kyle's definitely one of those young guns that's really, really fast and very aggressive, and consequently the officials keep a pretty close eye on him. Sheldon Creed there now all alone. And look at Hoffman hanging tough. Miles Cheek as well, man. He's right there.
And his dad, Chuck Cheek, of course, a pro buggy champion formerly, and now running the program for Miles, who's graduated from the karts.
Oh, and it looks like Jeff Hoffman has a flat left rear.
Casey Curry getting involved.
Curry's going to try to take advantage of that. Hard to tell in that shot, but
look how deep the rut is.
You lose half the truck, those things are sinking down inside of.
And it is still Brandon Arthur, Fox, Toyo, and Competitive Metals sponsor, number 6, right up front. And this is interesting for sure right here.
Yeah, Creed's going to run his pace, but oh boy, something like that can scare you. Creed, nice and smart about it. Just let him have the position. Try not to give up any throttle.
It's the podium spot. That's one thing. You know, Creed wants to try to be on the podium as often as possible. Oh, and Cheek makes a mistake.
Is a podium worth the championship? That's what he has to remember. And as it turns out, patience is going to get him the spot. But now he's ahead of 2 vicious racers as Brandon Arthur's trying to come back around here to pick up this win. Great battle there, and Brandon Arthur is going to pick up his first top 5, his first podium, and his first win, as Rob Klepper mentioned earlier, all at one shot. And that battle for the final spot on the podium was pretty interesting.
Very. There's a lot of contact with Dicey Racing there. Hats off to Sheldon Creed, keeping the composure as the championship points leader, not making it easy for anybody to get by him.
Brandon Arthur keeps that composure together on the final lap. Brings home his first win. Congratulations to Brandon Arthur for putting the Pro Traffic Services Competitive Metals truck on top of the podium for the first time in his career. He's down with Aaron.
Not only is it Brandon Arthur's first Prolite podium of his career, it happens to be his first podium of the season. Congratulations to you, Brandon. Amazing performance out there tonight. You started on the pole, you led every single lap, but what was it about tonight that made the difference for you to walk away victorious?
My crew did a great job tonight. I can't thank them enough. They gave me a great truck tonight, and you know, RJ ran me clean. I like to thank him very much. You know, we had a great start. We ran away. You know, we led it, and we were very proud. And I like to thank Pro Traffic, Competitive Metals, Toyo Tires, Ridge Industries, everybody out there helping me out. Thank you very much. Number 1.
Brandon, tell us about the track conditions and how they're holding up.
The track started out great. The Lucas team was doing a great job prepping it, and you know, halfway through, track started getting a little technical. It started forming some big ruts, and you know, these Toyo tires were hooking up though, and we had no problems.
Brandon, thanks so much. Go celebrate tonight.
Thank you.
Solid first effort on top of the podium. Good job, Brandon. RJ Anderson and Sheldon Creed rounding out the top 3. The story here, Creed with a big jump over Deegan in points as Cheek and Curry round out the top 5. We look at the rest of the top 20 as we head back down to the podium and second place.
Another great points night for RJ Anderson, who is fresh off a win at round number 9. Great job again, RJ. But vision has been an issue here all weekend long for you guys racing under the lights. But tonight, an extra element of racing with the rain. How did this affect you guys?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really normally get nervous, but before this race I was super nervous. I don't know, something about the rain was just throwing me off and made me a little nervous. But after winning round 9, I wanted to come back and try to repeat it, and we gave it our all, you know, and Brandon drove a phenomenal race. Hats off to the kid. bring home a second, 2 podiums on the weekend. Stoked. My team deserves every bit of it. So the rain was getting on our visors, and we were trying to wipe it off and doing everything we could. But glad it held out. Beautiful night here at Glen Helen, and glad all the fans stayed with us.
RJ, great job on back-to-back podiums here at Glen Helen.
Of course, RJ, with not much time to get inside of that Pro 2, they're coming up next. Here's a look at the points. Sheldon Creed makes it 8 podiums out of 10 rounds and puts some more points on Brian Deegan.
Another great points night as well for your current points leader, Sheldon Creed. Great job out there, Sheldon. But you got to talk to us and tell us all about that last lap battle and passed by Miles Cheek.
Yeah, I knew Miles was behind me, and my spotter told me 4 cars, so I was like, all right, just run my normal race lines, and threw it into 2, got all sideways, and I just saw him coming. I was like, oh. So then, just stayed in the gas, and then I was going to go give it back in the next turn, but he kind of cut me off and over-rotated himself. So it was I'm good buddies with Miles, and it was fun racing, so I'm pretty pumped to be up here for a track I really don't like. So I'm pumped, good points night, and we're up here.